Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Excited today. Going to be visiting with a young man from the Red Cross. I guess during the summertime, they have a higher need for blood, but they have fewer people donating blood. So we're going to talk about that and see what we can do to maybe get some folks interested in donating blood. I've done that before. I think it's actually kind of a cool thing to do. So we'll be chatting with him in a bit. Dr. Jared Block of the Oregon Health and Science University is calling for internet addiction to be classified as a genuine mental disorder. In an editorial in the American Journal of Psychiatry, Dr. Block wrote that people addicted to the internet have, quote, drug-like cravings, withdrawal, and a constant need for more and better gear, end quote. He says, these are common compulsive, impulsive symptoms like those of an addict to drugs or alcohol or food. And he says if those are considered real mental disorders, then internet addiction should be as well. What do you think of that?
I don't know.
You might as well face it. You're addicted to the internet.
Just have somebody turn your internet off.
Well, this is one that's really interesting to me here. According to articles in the Journal of Chance and Nature, a retired scientist claims he has proof that his electronic handheld Scrabble game has been cheating him out of vowels.
Oh, my gosh.
Now you know what retired scientists do.
Yeah.
They spend their time calculating the number of vowels
That's
they get
ridiculous.
on their digital handheld Scrabble game. All right. Going to find out what kind of special stuff's going on today. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Oh, today's a special day, Heidi. Do you know what that is?
What is today, John?
I kind of lost my mind there. I thought you'd never ask. It's Monday. It's the 18th day of July. Today is National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. Am I in the doghouse for anything right now?
Not at the moment.
I'm out of the doghouse? All right. I'm already
Give it 10
celebrating.
minutes.
Yeah. Program's not done yet. It's also International Nelson Mandela Day. It is National Caviar Day. Have you ever had caviar?
I have. I don't care for it.
I'm not a fan either. I don't have that type of refined taste.
No.
So I'm going to talk about something else where you have refined taste later in the program. I'm going to be talking about Rolls-Royce. I know you've always liked those.
I want a Rolls-Royce.
And it's also Global Hug Your Kid Day.
Oh.
A lot of stuff going on
I hug my kids
today.
every day.
I do too. They don't like it though. You ever notice when I give our daughter a hug, she like squirms out of like dead fish? Okay. Don't know what that's all about. Coming up, we're going to talk about road rage, and it could potentially be some good news for road ragers. That's on the way.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond Lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. A new study says road rage may actually be a mental disorder. So it's not your fault. There's a recent study from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and the University of Chicago that says people who commit road rage may actually suffer from an inherent brain disorder, meaning their outbursts may not be within their control. The abnormality is called intermittent explosive disorder, IED, and its main symptom is a sudden outburst of aggression. I think I have that because I definitely have road rage once in a while.
You get road rage once in a while, but I think you could control it if you wanted to.
Mine is pretty minor road rage, really.
Yeah, you don't ever harm anybody
No, I've never done
anything.
that. But here's my, I'll tell you, hey folks, buckle up. Uncle John's going to give you some tips on driving. There's 2 lanes on a lot of like interstates and whatnot. Mm-hmm. The one on the right is for people going slow.
Yes, this is when John loses his mind.
Go crazy. If you want to go the same speed as the guy next to you, get in front of him or behind him or her. Don't drive the same speed next to each other, blocking the traffic, especially if you're going slower than the speed limit. But I come up on vehicles all the time. They're going like 10 miles under the speed limit.
Calm down.
Driving next to each other. And I'm like, what is going on here? Are you guys swapping?
Calm down. It's not even happening right now,
something?
and you're freaking out.
So this is where I have road rage, but I think that's justifiable road rage.
It is not justifiable.
I think so. It's in the Journal of John Said So.
Yeah.
Anyway, these guys over here say if you have road rage, you may have a mental disease. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe I shouldn't be pulling for this. But I do know that, again, I don't know that I have road rage. I think I just get upset when people are morons. If you're going to drive the same speed, get in the same lane.
Okay. Let it go.
Don't drive in the
Let it go.
This tip number 2, don't drive in the passing lane. I mean, once you pass somebody, get over in the driving lane.
Okay.
That's what those are for. Use your blinkers. These are good things as well, because that's another thing that drives me crazy. I'm like, okay.
Oh, my gosh, don't even.
Oh.
You are one that doesn't use your blinker.
And I should. If I don't use it, I should. All right. And I'll climb off this soapbox now, because we got more stuff to get to. And she just proved that I'm a hypocrite. So thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Oh, by the way, you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. Could you get run over by a train and not get hurt?
I'm assuming you can.
Yeah, it happened in Iowa, but the dude's brain was on drugs. While he was intoxicated, he dozed off, apparently. I don't know. Sean Poley passed out on the railroad tracks between the rails. An engineer hit the emergency brake, notified the authorities that a northbound train may have actually hit a pedestrian. 2 other train engines, or I guess 2 of the engines, passed over him without hitting him. Authorities woke him up, removed him from the tracks. After the first engine was disconnected, he was arrested for public intoxication. But because he was so passed out, he didn't sit up or anything. If he would have sat up, it would have most likely killed him. But he was passed out completely.
And he was between the rails.
Yeah. So he didn't get hurt at all. He did get arrested. And I just want to say, you don't want to take a nap on the railroad tracks. That is the kind of thing that happens when your brain is on drugs. I have for you one of the most expensive and most inappropriate diets ever devised.
Okay.
I can't even read this without laughing. This is just the dumbest thing ever. You might not want to try this diet at home because you get yourself in a little bit of trouble. 27-year-old Brian Monfort was arrested in Springfield, Ohio, and charged with child enticement.
Enticement?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was based on an arrest report noting that 2 different times, once in January and once in March, he approached children and paid them $40 to insult him for being overweight.
Oh.
Supposedly, he was doing this as a tactic to inspire himself to lose weight.
That's a little creepy, though.
He
could have paid adults to do that.
Here's $40. Call me a bunch of names. And they called him names.
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
He was arrested twice for doing this. How many other times did he do it where he didn't get caught? That's just bizarre.
Yeah. He could have paid an adult to do that for him. He didn't need to go chasing after children. That's the creepy part. I mean, it's one thing if you want somebody to call you names. It's the same concept as putting one of those oinking things in your refrigerator. You know, it's the same concept. I would assume it would work.
Hey, if you want people to call you names for being fat, all you got to do is just hang out with my family because they make fun of me all the time. So, all right, we've got your scoop of the day on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. A Michigan woman is accused of killing her husband, and the prosecutor is turning to the parrot to put her behind bars. Glenda Durham is charged with shooting her husband, Martin, at their home. The dead man's ex-wife, Christy Keller, is convinced that his beloved African gray parrot, Bud, saw the whole event. Keller inherited Bud after the murder and says 2 weeks after the incident, Bud, the parrot, started going into rants that she couldn't explain. He was screaming and yelling and always ending these rants with "don't blanking shoot." And this is a bird that mimics what people say. So anyway, they're saying that the ex-wife, or the wife, ex-wife now, killed him. So I guess we'll find out what happened there. Interesting stuff. Hey, a Georgia man was recently arrested after he attempted to enter a Waffle House with no clothes on. Oh. He just didn't want to get any syrup on his trousers. According to a study, working a bad job can be just as harmful to your mental health as having no job at all. If I had to choose having a bad job or having no job, I'd probably go for the bad job because at least you're getting paid to have the mental problems.
Right, and at least you can pay your bills.
Americans are getting bigger and getting wider and getting heavier.
Yeah.
According to statistics, obesity rates in all 50 of the United States went up over the last year. So, hey, we're all in this together. That's I think our whole country. It's not that the global water levels are rising. Our country is just sinking into the ocean. Pretty sure that's what's going on.
That's an interesting theory.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Scientists in the UK say that they are close to developing a quantum compass. It would be able to locate itself without GPS satellites. So before you know it, we'll have a quantum compass.
It would be able to locate itself?
Yeah. So because it'll be utilizing the
Why would it need to locate itself?
You'd be able to tell where you are in the world without utilizing satellite technology.
Oh.
It's a compass, but it would be a quantum compass. So don't know what that means. I'm going to pretend like I do that. Heidi, it's a quantum compass. Of course.
Of course.
According to a study reported in the Journal of Circulation, heavy, long-term coffee drinking does not raise the risk of heart attacks for most people. So drink up and enjoy another cup. What difficulties, you might ask? Well, she's kind of tried to kill him 7 times. This is a story about a lady that has been trying to kill her husband. Once she poisoned him. Second story, by the way, today about ladies trying to kill their husbands. The one did it already. This one tried to poison her husband. Then she tried to hire a hitman. Another time, she dropped a radio in the tub while he was taking a bath. Another time, she shot him during a hunting trip. She says that's all over now. She's ready to resume her happy life with her loving husband. She says the only problem is those darn pesky police. They want to arrest her instead. So she's tried to kill him numerous times. Why can't we just work it out now? Hey, in 1996, a Wisconsin man led police on a 10-mile-per-hour car chase on a tractor. He had been jailed for a year. Carl Tuscher was chased after being spotted driving from a car park, whatever that is.
It's a parking
Parking
garage.
lot? Okay. Officers tried to get him out of the tractor at the traffic light. He tried to run them over. Janesville residents began to line the route of the chase. Some even took photos before the driver eventually stopped at a church parking lot. He then told officers that he stopped at the church because he, quote, didn't think I could be arrested there, end quote.
Why would you not be able to
idea.
be arrested at a church?
I don't know. That happened back in 1996, so that's an old story. But I got one right here. Note to self, never throw slippers in India unless you want to spend the rest of your life behind bars. Truly, this happened. In India, a 19-year-old was appearing before a judge for robbing a rickshaw driver of $8. So $8. That's what he was going to court over. Frustrated at the charges, this young man hurled his slipper at the judge.
Oh, that's a mistake.
He managed
in any
to duck.
country.
He did not get hit, but he was so outraged, he sentenced the teenager to life in prison.
Okay, life might be a bit extreme, but you don't throw something at a judge.
The teenager's senior counsel said the punishment is excessive, but the accused man's conduct is unpardonable. So there you go. He's in jail for robbing a rickshaw of $8 and then throwing a slipper at a judge for the rest of his life. He'll be behind bars. That's a bad idea. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Going to talk about donating blood right now. This is a really important thing. And from the American Red Cross, we have Chris Rhoda. Chris, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, John?
Fantastic. And I'm excited to chat with you. As a blood donor myself, I know it's important to donate blood. And I know the American Red Cross does a lot of hard work all year long to donate blood. But I also know that during the summertime, people get busy, and it makes it a little more difficult to donate blood, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely correct, John. Unfortunately, we have this difficulty most summers. This summer is no exception. In fact, it's pretty severe this summer. as you said, a lot of folks just aren't eligible to donate or available to donate. More likely that they're out doing vacations, enjoying the summer activities. And then probably the other and maybe more important reason, the biggest reason, is we collect about 20% of our products from high school students and colleges, and we don't have access to those donors in the summer, so we just typically have a very challenging time in the summer months.
Maybe somebody listening is thinking, I've always thought about donating, I've just never done it. How hard is it for somebody to get started, and what would you suggest maybe for somebody that's never done this before but have maybe had it cross their mind and would like to maybe try to donate blood this summer?
Yeah, so it's quite easy, actually. Usually we do it pretty quickly. It usually takes less than an hour. It really consists of a small health history. When you come in, we make sure you're eligible to donate. We do a test on your blood to make sure you have enough iron to donate and it's safe for you to donate. And then the process is quite simple. You lay on a bed, we draw the unit of blood, you get juice and cookies afterward. I think maybe the best way to get over that fear of donating is bring a friend, bring a family member, have them donate with you, have them on the chair next to you. It really is a very simple process. We'll work to make sure we get you out quickly as possible. As I said, you get that juice and cookie at the end of the donation.
I've done this dozens of times, if not hundreds of times. I've donated blood a lot. It's really a simple process. Now, right now there is a blood shortage. How severe is the shortage?
Well, first of all, thank you for donating. We appreciate that you're a consistent and regular donor. We need lots of folks like you doing this across the country, but it's a pretty severe shortage. We are on emergency blood appeal now across the country, asking all eligible platelet and blood donors to come in and participate and donate. Over the last several weeks and months, we've actually collected about 40,000 units less than we needed to meet patient demands. Our inventories have gotten very low. We're operating on what we would consider a dangerously low level. So we do need people to come out across the country and participate, and donate to save lives. It's important that they do so now.
Why is it important to have a readily available supply of blood?
Well, we've had, unfortunately, lots of incidents across the country the last several weeks and months, and so we have trauma patients coming in, we have cancer patients that come in and need to be transfused, and it really is the blood that's on the shelf at the time a patient shows up for a transfusion that's used. So it's really important that donors become regular blood donors, that they participate in the process regularly, so when the patient does show up, that blood's there on the shelf, readily available for them, and they don't have to wait, or heaven forbid, that they don't have a blood product available for them when they need it.
So during a shortage like the one we're going through right now, how can we help patients who need blood right away?
Come in and donate. Become a regular donor. Come in and donate. As I said, bring a friend, bring a family member. In fact, make new friends. Bring them in to donate. It'll help as well. And as you said, it's an easy process. They can go to 1-800-RED-CROSS and schedule a donation appointment to donate. They can go to our website at redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment. Or we've made it really simple now. They can download the blood donation app and schedule their appointment directly from the app.
Very cool. So tell me a little bit about the app. I guess I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, so you can go to your favorite location, Apple or Android, and you can download the blood donation app from the Red Cross. It allows you to schedule your appointment, see locations where blood drives are available in your area. It allows you to track your donations. Also tell you, in most cases, where your donation went, what part of the country it went to save lives. Some pretty cool stuff there. You can interact with social media sites through the app as well. So we're excited about the app. It is an award-winning app, and it really has become a big part of our process of encouraging people to donate and making it as easy as possible.
Very cool. Again, our guest today, Chris Hrouda, is the Executive Vice President of Blood Services at the Red Cross. And Chris, thank you so much for doing what you do. I know this is a really important thing. As we have things come up where we have an emergency and we need blood, we definitely want to make sure that we have that blood supply full. So with the summer months being a little tougher, I'm really glad that you guys reached out. I'm glad that we were able to have a chance to chat. We're going to hopefully get some folks to get out there and donate. But thank you so much for doing what you do to make sure that we are prepared if something does happen.
Well, thanks, John. I appreciate that. It's as I say, tell most people, it's an honor to be able to be the intermediary between people who want to give and help save lives and those who need it. So I thank you very much. Thanks for having me on the show. And again, I will encourage everybody to go out and donate as soon as they can.
Well, we're going to send them out. Chris, thank you again, sir. You have a wonderful day.
Thanks, John. You too.
Again, Chris Hrouda right there, and he is with the American Red Cross, Executive Vice President of Blood Services at the Red Cross. If you'd like to know more, you can check out their website, or like we just learned together, they've got a cool app as well in the Apple Store and the Android Store. I'm going to go check that out as well. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.
John and Heidi.
Do you buy lottery tickets? Maybe you wait till the jackpot is big, then you buy one. I was like that too. Like my odds got better because the jackpot was more. Well, I think I found something that actually will give me a better chance to win. It's called Lotto-licious. I learned about this from Richard Lustig. He literally wrote the book on how to win the lottery, and he should know. He's a 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Richard plays and endorses Lotto-licious, and I just signed up too. I'd love it if you join Richard and I. You can play Powerball and Mega Millions without even going to the store. Sign up right now at RadioLottopool.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
When you tie a noose, the rope is wrapped around 12 times. You know why?
Why?
Because that is the same height as a person's head, the average person's head. So there you go. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A cat's jaw cannot move sideways. Like if you move your jaw.
Really?
Cats can't do that. Nah. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Patty Duke was the first teenager to have her own show. That's kind of cool. And cowboy star Roy Rogers had his horse Trigger mounted when he died. He had him took him to a taxidermy. I didn't know that. And one other fun fact from TV: Mary Tyler Moore started working on a TV series as the voice and just a pair of legs. You never saw her face. She was a secretary in David Jansen's detective program, Richard Diamond, whatever that is.
Never heard of that.
But you just saw her legs and you heard her voice. You never saw her. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Speaking of television, in 1950, What's My Line became the first panel game show on television. What's My Line? That's kind of an interesting program. If you ever watched that, it's kind of funny stuff. A couple of fun facts for you right there on a Monday.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Monday. We're in the midst of July, and there's a lot of folks going out and about. And if you're heading out soon to get some sun, maybe you might want to consider packing some sunblock. You like this stuff. You're always
you have to have
putting that on. I don't do it, but then that's probably why, even though you're older than me, I've had people ask if you're my daughter. So there could be something to this. A new study finds that consumers don't always choose the most effective sunscreens. ABC News says many sunscreens that consumers give high marks to do not adhere to the guidelines set by the American Academy of Dermatology. Researchers from multiple institutions looked at the top-rated 1% of sunscreens on Amazon to see whether people are picking the sunscreens that provide that. Let me say all that again. See if people are picking sunscreens that provide them the best protection. They found that only about 40% did not fully adhere to the criteria set out by the AAD. Researchers also found that consumers were most apt to cite cosmetic elegance as how the product feels or smells or its color, as that kind of stuff was in the reviews more so than the fact that it was a good sunscreen.
Yeah.
I
More
like
so
the way
than
it
they
smells.
didn't get a sunburn.
It sure is a neat color. I like how this one feels. Those were the things that they liked. So maybe they could find a way to make the ones
it
that work the best.
Feel and look and smell good.
If it
while
smells
still,
good.
While still blocking the sun, that would be ideal. And then they would make a fortune.
It's often me that makes the mistake.
I know.
So I get to poke. See, and I feel bad for even poking fun of your little smell thing. But you make fun of me all the time.
I do. Because
I have
Turnabout is fair play.
I know.
That's
I have
fine.
trouble speaking once in a while. I do have a link to this entire story. If you want it, maybe read it and not mispronounce things, you can check it out at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. When we do the sunscreen thing, there's like sprayable sunscreen.
Yeah.
I see people using that stuff. I wonder if that's on the list of stuff that's good or if that's because it's more convenient, isn't it?
It's more convenient, but I don't think it covers as well or that it lasts as long. I use lotions.
There you go. Well, all of the details at our Facebook page. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Hey, this is Tim from Hope and Faith Machine Works. Are you having one of these days?
How in the world am I going to do that?
Or even,
if I could just have this, my life would be so much easier.
Well, this kind of stuff is my specialty. At Hope and Faith Machine Works, we work with anyone who needs something built, fabricated, or just done right. We've done medical, industrial, PLC, and prototype designs. You can reach us at yourhopeourfaith.com. That's yourhopeourfaith.com.
It has been a long time since I've purchased a new car. A lot of the time when I get a new car, it's an old car.
But it's new to us.
It's new to us.
We don't
And I'm
buy
okay
new
with-
cars.
Well,
I
we've
really
done it.
see no need.
Well, we've done it before, but
We
it's
bought one.
it's been a while.
And
now,
we regretted it instantly
Which
when we
one
bought
was the
the
new
van. We were both like, just
didn't
don't
regret
love it as
I
much
liked
as.
that.
No, you didn't. I remember driving away with it, and you were like,
that white van.
eh.
I liked that. I did. It was a good van. I liked the.
You
anyway.
liked the seats in the far,
There you
far
go.
back, but you
They
didn't
folded
like
into the
the
floor.
vehicle itself.
Can we move on to this story?
Just say
When you get a new car, a lot of the time you got the new car smell. Rolls-Royce has a different problem, though. There are people that are complaining they don't like the smell that the cars have now. They like the way they used to smell. So now it's something to do with their production techniques. They change those. But there are now people that are getting this chemical to spray in their car that mimics the smell of the older Rolls-Royce. And it's aroma from a 1965 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud that it can be applied to the inside of the car, and now you get the smell of the old Rolls-Royce.
I would love
I wonder if you can get that to
to
spray.
have a Rolls Royce.
Can we just
I
get
will
the smell?
someday in my life.
Can we just get that scent to
No.
spray in your current car?
No.
It sure smells like a Rolls-Royce, and it barely rolls.
No, I will have one eventually.
All right,
you mark
well.
my words. I will have one.
Well, I'll see if I can do something to get you a Rolls-Royce. Does anybody have a gun I could use? I'm just teasing. I would never do that. Coming up here, we've got a study talking about junk food that's on the way.
John and Heidi.
A new study seems to indicate that keeping junk food in the house could actually help you eat healthier. Does that sound weird?
That is so not the case at our
Forget
house.
banning chocolate and getting the chips and stuff out of your cupboards when you're trying to eat better. A recent study says keeping that stuff around could actually help you maintain self-control. I don't know who they did this study with.
Yeah, definitely not with
Clearly
anybody
wasn't
in
me.
our house.
Researchers argue that putting tempting treats directly in front of you will help you better control your desire for them. Wrong. People feel empowered knowing that they've successfully resisted a food versus just feeling like they're depriving themselves. Again,
Yeah.
I didn't do no stinking study, but I can tell you this. If I have cookies in the house, I eat them. If I don't have no cookies in the house, I ain't going to eat them. I'm just saying. I tried to make that as smartly sounding as I could because, again, there's
Unless
no
you say,
scientificness behind
hey,
this.
It's 11 o'clock at night. Let's go buy some cookies.
We've done that before, too. See a commercial on TV, we're like, hey, you kind of hungry for, let's go for a ride. It's 11 o'clock at night. I got my PJs on. We'll hit a drive-through. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
All right, I was going to read this story a little bit earlier. I moved it to this break because we have a little more time, and I know that you're going to want to tell a story about this. But is it okay to brag about your IQ? There is an IQ test you can take online, and IQ, by the way, stands for intelligence quotient. And it's arrived by taking your mental age, multiplying it by 100, then dividing that number by your chronological age. Anyway, here's the list of if you take an IQ test and you wonder, because that's what I wondered. We'll tell the story quick. We read a story about the youngest member of Mensa ever to be inducted, and they were like 5 years old. And they were talking about this IQ, what the kid had for an IQ, and it was like 155 or something. And I thought, how do you know if you're a genius? And I went online and I took an IQ test and I scored really well. But it didn't tell you if you were falling into which category. So I Googled, how do you know if you're a genius? And Google said, did you mean genius? I spelled genius wrong.
And I said, that's how you know.
That right there, that's how you know. You ain't
There's
no
your answer.
genius. Anyway, if you take an IQ test, the numbers between 0 and 25, if you score a 0 all the way up to a 25, the official title for a person that scores in that range is idiot.
Okay.
So that's what an idiot is, somebody with an IQ of 0 to 25. I'm not making this up. I'm reading this off the internet,
Okay.
so you know it's true. Anywhere from 26 to 50, you would be an imbecile.
All right.
These don't sound good so far. From 51 to 70, if you score in there, that would be a moron.
All right.
Really. IQ of 71 to 80, you are borderline. IQ of 81 to 90, you are dull. Anywhere from 91 to 110 is normal. That's good.
All right.
So 91, you're hoping to hit at least 91.
Yeah.
Everything so far hasn't been good up to that. If you are from 111 to 140, you are superior. And from 141 all the way up to 200 is a genius.
Okay.
So according to the thing I found on the internet, now who knows, a 12-year-old
So is
could have
that
put this
test
together.
attached to this thing that you're looking at?
Do you want me to get you the test so you can take it?
I'd kind of like to take it.
All right. Do you want me to take it too?
Sure.
All right. We'll both take an IQ test. Are we going to post our results?
Sure.
All right. We'll do that as well. And you can follow along and you can play along. And please take the test as well and then let us know on our Facebook page how you did. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is pretty good news. It's kind of interesting. When you go on vacation, it seems like every single thing you do costs money.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, we've gone on vacations where we went to like Disneyland one time, and it was like a hot dog was like $8.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is
Crazy.
crazy. But when you're on vacation, almost every step you take, every move you make, takes a bite out of your wallet. The most beautiful sights that you might see could be something with this 4-letter word called free, F-R-E-E. According to Time's Money section, there's a lot of really cool and totally free stuff out there if you're out looking for a vacation. Money pulled together a list of the best free things to do in each of the 50 states. Suggestions range from unusual ways to explore New York City to the Jelly Bean Tour in Wisconsin. And our state's on there as well, so you can check the list. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And they've got all kinds of fun stuff to do that's literally just a drive in the car away. If you want to go all the way across the country, you could. It'd be really cool to do a 50-state freeloader tour.
Oh, my gosh.
You're going to hit all these free attractions. What do you think, Heidi? Should we take some time off and do that?
No, that's all right.
Not your idea of a good time?
You can go. Just drop me off at a beach somewhere and then come back when you're done.
What would you say is your favorite free thing that we've ever gone to? Are there things that you can think of that was free to get in that was really fun? Because I know I remember going to a presidential museum. It was free to get into that, wasn't it?
I don't believe the presidential museums were free, no.
I was thinking that it was.
Was the Children's Museum in St. Louis, was that free or did
I
we
don't
pay
remember.
to get into that?
I have no idea.
We don't know.
I do remember, I know the one presidential museum for sure was free. So, stuff like that. And you can take a look at the list on here and see. But a lot of the time, there are many free attractions that you can go to that don't cost a ton. Go and have fun without spending a ton of money. You can still spend some money on, souvenirs if you want to. The biggest ball of twine in Minnesota, for example.
That was amazing.
That was free.
That was free.
We were going to the Mall of America, and we went a little out of our way to go check that out. But there's a Weird Al song about the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. And we're like, is that a real thing? And it is.
Yes, it is.
So we checked it out. It was really kind of funny. Didn't you get postcards and stuff? You got a shirt too.
I got a sweatshirt.
Yeah,
I got
all kinds of-
postcards.
So
I got all kinds of stuff.
So our trip wasn't free when she was done. But the entire list is found at Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great Monday. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.